Yep. Canelo does it again. Who's to blame this time? Are we going to blame Bivol? Are we going to blame Dimitri for this one? Because it's looking like to me like there's a lot of stipulations into these for these guys to make these fights. These guys that feel like they need more of a chance to win. It seems like it's harder to get those guys in the ring for Canelo Alvarez. And now I'm gonna read to you guys why this fight ain't happening. Canelo fans got a lot to say. What's going on, Trav? I see you in the building. Canelo Alvarez strikes back. He ain't doing shit, man. He ain't about to be fighting nobody. Hold up. There we go. And the funny thing is, I'm gonna read it to you guys. I'm waiting for some more people get in the building. This is a random live stream. I ain't gonna be on long, but yeah, you know how Eddie Hearn's good at his excuses and shit too. Yep, Canelo Alvarez and Dimitri Bivol is not happening due to pretty much Canelo Alvarez needing more time. A lot of guys are speculating. You said Bivol needs more time. Is that what it says? No, no, no. According to this, let me go ahead and read it. This is my first time reading it. I'll read it. He says, for the third consecutive year, Canelo Alvarez won't fight on Mexican Independence Weekend. The pound-for-pound king planned to fight on September 18th, but after prolonging negotiations for two different fights, Alvarez has decided to move on his next bout to November, promoter Eddie Hearn told ESPN on Friday. So, yeah, Canelo Alvarez did this, bro. He said the Mexican star wanted more time. Both trained at his gym in San Diego and plotted out a deal for his next fight. Sources told ESPN. September 18th became tighter and tighter, and we made the decision today to focus on November, said Hearn, who promotes Alvarez's last three fights. So, yeah, Canelo needed more time. He needed more time, and he just needed more time. You know, I mean, shit. Too many fucking stipulations and shit. If you just let the dude come in there at 175 and just let's get this show on the road, you just be ready. It wouldn't be all this. But hey, he ain't fighting on Mexican Independence Weekend 3 times in a row. All right, here we go. It says Alvarez was closing in on a deal to meet Caleb Plant September 18th for the undisputed 168-pound championship, but the pack fell apart at the 11th hour. Alvarez was set to earn more than $40 million guaranteed. $40 million. He's about to get $40 million to fight Caleb Plant, bro. $40 million. With Plant earning upwards of $10 million. The proposed bout would have seen Alvarez return to pay-per-view PBC on Fox. Alvarez's last 6 fights were streamed by his own. See, if I would have liked that for that to happen, because then we could see what Canelo could really do. Because really, we going off of old shit. You know, his old numbers from back when he was on pay-per-view, back when pay-per-view was still somewhat of a thing. Now in the heavily streaming era, let's see what he can really do. But nah, he didn't want to put out those numbers because they'll probably devalue him a little bit. He says the proposed bout with us. He said Alvarez holds 3 super middleweight titles. Blah 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 blah. Okay, it says after the Plant fight collapsed, Alvarez moved on to talks with light heavyweight champion Dimitri Bivol. Alvarez and Bivol agreed to a 172-pound catchweight per sources for a fight that would have been staged for Bivol's title. So Bivol was putting his belt on the line and at a catchweight. You know, he's putting his belt on the line. See, that's like, why? Why did he have to put his belt on the line? The Zone and Triller both made offers for the event. Oh, okay. So Triller wanted to put something into that one too. Now it's unclear when and against whom Alvarez will fight. But then it says, quote, we made a deal on our side. We made that deal 2 weeks ago, and we had an understanding of what was going to happen. Bivol's manager, Vadim Kornarov, told ESPN. We were waiting to see if Canelo's side was going to finalize. Maybe we'll find out what the reason was at some point. Wow. So Dimitri Bivol, let me read that again. End quote. We made a deal on our side. We made that deal 2 weeks ago, and we had an understanding of what was going to happen. Bivol's manager, Vadim Kornarov, told ESPN. We were waiting to see if Canelo's side were going to finalize. Maybe we'll find out what the reason was at some point. So yeah, this is very consistent pattern, people. Come on. Where Canelo fans at, man? They got a lot to say in the comment sections, but when it's time to come live, they don't got nothing to say. But you're pulling out your black card and all this other bullshit in the comment section. But when it's time to talk about Canelo Alvarez, Caleb Plant side said the same fucking shit. We signed our side. We waiting on you. Bivol signed his side. We waiting on you. They said they signed it 2 weeks ago. They was ready 2 weeks ago. So it's Canelo doing this bullshit, man. It's Canelo Alvarez, man. I just read to you what Bivol's manager said. It's the same shit Caleb Plant's team said. Like, man, we've been had our side signed ready to go. Then he threw this little stipulation in there where he wanted to make sure if somebody got COVID, he got the replacement. Man, I'm telling you, it's games. It's gamesmanship. Bullshit. Yep, no Canelo versus Bivol, people. No Canelo versus Bivol. He says, salute to everybody in the building. Hit the like button for your boy. Yeah, Canelo, man. I'm telling you, Kyle. Kyle Intone says, Canelo not a warrior. This shows. Canelo will never take fight unless he's heavily favored. I'm telling you, bro. And this is what I'm saying to you guys. I'm not saying it because, oh, I hate Mexican fighters or I'm being pro-black and all this bullshit. No. I'm a fan of Canelo. Check the fucking catalog. I got highlight videos. I put a lot of heart and effort into making for this dude. You know what I'm saying? But this is some absolute bullshit. Bullshit. I think and now it's gonna make it's Bivol to blame. Our boxing fans gonna blame Bivol like they tried to blame Caleb Plant. They threw Caleb Plant under the bus for that shit. He didn't do that. He was ready. You know what I'm saying? Canelo Alvarez wanted to, it's too much with this guy. It is too much. It's never just a straight up fight. It's never, I understand the ring size and the gloves, shit like that. Okay, cool, that's regular shit. But all this other extra shit he be doing is too much, man. It's not real boxing. It's not real combat, man. It's not real warrior shit. It's not. It's not. I mean, it'll probably happen later on. A lot of people saying right now that Canelo need to get off that get off that cycle. That's what people saying and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't get too deep into all that stuff. I know he got tested positive before. That's another reason why I say Terrence Crawford's a better fighter. He never tested positive for no shit, man. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop it. Stop playing with me. But there's a lot of shit with this guy. It's a lot of shit with him. A lot of shit. Good thing for Bivol now, he may have a chance if Canelo comes back and revisits. But as I read to you guys, I didn't even finish reading it. But as I was reading, they don't know. It says now it's unclear when and against whom Alvarez will fight. So they don't even know who they go fight. They don't even know who they go fight. Let me see. Let's see what else they talked about here. Yep. So basically, everything is put on hold. Canelo's fight ain't gonna fight on his date. He may revisit Plant again. I mean, $40 million. And then he may revisit Bivol if he feel like hopping on him. But I think he'll probably go after Plant if anything, because there's big money there. It's a big money fight. $40 million guaranteed, man. $40 million guaranteed plus the pay-per-view. He'll have a chance to show us what he really got on pay-per-view. Tribe says Canelo wasn't favored against Triple G. Man, I don't know. I'm sick of that shit, man. I'm sick of this dude. I like Canelo, but I'm just tired of him. Tired of him. It's not like the Mayweather shit. Okay, we was done with it. Okay, he did. Okay, let's get back to some real warrior shit again. You know what I'm saying? This is some bullshit. He knew if Bivol's team said it's true, I mean, they've been ready. They was ready 2 weeks ago, they said. They would have had enough time to be prepared for this fight 2 weeks ago. But nah, Canelo and them was stalling in negotiations once again. That's what this fucking shit just said. And it's on ESPN, so you think I'm capping, just go on ESPN, you'll see it yourself. You know what I'm saying? This is what this guy do. All these dudes Got a lot to say in the comment sections. You know what I'm saying? They don't never show up when it's time to go live to address these issues. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he's a part of the problem, AJ, bro. Like, man, he's a part of the problem, dog. Like, he is. That's why I said yesterday he's bad for the sport. And you asked me 2 years ago, I wouldn't even imagine myself saying that about Canelo Alvarez. But I mean, he's bad for the sport, bro. He's bad for the sport. Too many guys is willing to sell themselves to fight this guy. Too many guys is willing to succumb to his stipulations and his clauses and all the other stuff that comes with him. It's just too much of that. You know what I'm saying? It's not real fighting. It's not a real fair fight. It's not a real, show of warriorship. Like you go move up to light heavyweight, move up to light heavyweight. You've been there before. If you go up to that weight class, go up there. Like Bivol is not that big, people. I've seen Bivol in person. I was actually surprised that this dude was fighting at 175 when I seen him in person. He is not that big of a guy. He should be at 168. But man, yeah, this is Canelo Alvarez for you. Where his fans at, man? Canelo will never fight Beterbiev, Kyle. Y'all talking crazy now. You know that's not happening. He don't. You know that's not happening. He'll never fight Beterbiev. Nope. Beterbiev will never get a shot. Sorry, buddy. Maybe when you 45. But see, if they say power's the last thing to go, and that dude could punch. So yeah, Bivol will never be getting that shot, man. This is why we need more guys in boxing to move the needle. Let me read what Bivol's manager said again for the guys that's stepping in. Hit that like button for your boy. Canelo is not fighting in September against Dimitri Bivol. The fight there's just not enough time. This is what Bivol's manager said. He said, we made a deal on our side. We made that deal 2 weeks ago. And we had an understanding. See, they said that, it's the key words. We made our deal on our side. We made that deal 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. So they would have had a little enough time to hurry up and get something together. And we had an understanding of what was going to happen. Bivol's manager, Vadim Kornov, told ESPN. We were waiting to see if Canelo side was going to finalize. Maybe we'll find out what the reason was at some point. At this point, we just don't know if they still want to do the fight. If not, we have other options. Maybe Zerudo Ramirez or Arthur Beterbiev. Those are good fights. Maybe Marcus Brown. Whatever the best option is, that's what we'll do to keep Bivol as active as possible at this point. That's what Bivol's manager said, right? That's what Bivol's manager just said. He said they don't know what they gonna do now. He said they got other options like maybe Zerudo Ramirez, who had some good wins recently, and Arthur Beterbiev, the Russian juggernaut monster dude that be knocking people out, who ain't playing no games. So I mean, he got options. Marcus Brown. I mean, those guys, they go fight each other because they pretty much got to fight each other at this point. I wouldn't suggest Bivol waiting around and dealing with Canelo Alvarez and his nonsense. If he's not going to give you a fair fight, just a fair fight, you the champion, you shouldn't have to succumb to his catch weights and shit. Like, man, fuck that shit, bro. I don't like that shit, man. I'm telling you, man. Salute to my man Drizzy KO in the building. He says if Canelo was the more skillful fighter than Bud, then those fights would have happened. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. He is a part of the problem, man. He is part of the fucking problem, bro. I mean, this is just what this dude does. You know what I'm saying? Dragging out fights. It says 31-year-old Alvarez hoped to fight in September 2019, but dragged out talks. You see that again? Dragged out talks forced him to move on that fight too with Sergey Kovalev. Yep. He be trying to really play heavy politics with these guys, man. And they don't really want to be budging, but he ended up getting them anyway. And then he ended up getting a name and a lot of clout and respect and shit for beating these dudes. It's a game, man. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully Bivol just moves on. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he just moves on, try to get active, try to get some momentum first. And then if Canelo's still acting like he wants some smokes, then what's up, man? I've been active now. I'm sharp again. What's good? You ain't gonna catch me on a downslide. Yeah, that's right. You ain't gonna catch me on a downslide. When I've been sitting on the shelf, been inactive, been kind of rusty. Floyd didn't fight no goddamn catch weights all the time, dude. He didn't have to do that all the time. He did it with Canelo, and Canelo wanted to do that, fighting at 152. Floyd didn't fight at catchweights all the time. Pacquiao is the catchweight king. Don't come on here lying like that. AJ says they was always take that fight due to money. Yeah, man. They'll take this. They'll take this fight. And stop bringing up Floyd when we talking about Canelo. Like dudes always try to bring up Floyd when we talking about Canelo. Like Floyd Mayweather, he got lucky. He became the money man in boxing. Canelo, that shit was inevitable. All he had to do was walk the golden road. Some bullshit. Floyd probably had a couple of catchweight fights, if anything, and one of them was against Canelo, and he was a fucking super featherweight. Canelo fought, what was that? Matthew Hatton for like a catchweight title and shit, like just catchweight titles. You know what I'm saying? Canelo weight, all that bullshit, man. That's what this dude do. Well, like I said, people, Dimitri Bivol's team came out and said they had their side of the deal signed and ready to go 2 weeks ago. They was ready to go. They don't know why the fight didn't just. They don't know why the fight fell apart. And at this point, they don't know what they want to do. They got options. They could look at Zeruda, Ramirez, Arthur Beterbiev, Marcus Brown. You know, they're trying to keep them active. You know, and that's what that is. Canelo Alvarez playing games with people. You know, it seemed like this has been a pattern. You know, Billy Joe was damn near about to pull out of the fight at the last minute. Remember that? It's too much shit, man. It's too much. So imagine a fight with like Boo Boo or Jamal or somebody like that. Imagine a fight with one of those guys, man. Like it's gonna be hard for any of these like guys we really want to see Canelo in there with. It's gonna be really, really, really hard for those fights to happen. It's gonna be almost impossible. Yeah, he worked his ass off, but if he didn't think of the villain role, Floyd was a nice guy. He was soft spoken. He wasn't talking shit. Nobody's paying attention to him. But when he started talking that shit, especially around the Oscar De La Hoya fight, that's when he blew up, man. He said, "I got to do something." See, Canelo Alvarez, he just started speaking English. He's been a money man. He didn't even have to talk at all. Floyd he had to villainize himself to get what he got. He had to be the villain. But he worked his ass off, though. I agree, bro. He worked his ass off, Floyd. Yeah, hell yeah, he did. But for guys like to always bring up, well, Floyd did it. I'm like, no, 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 no. There's a difference. There's a difference, man. He says Canelo is shook of plant. Man, listen here, you guys. For the people that just stepping in, Bivol's team signed their side of the deal 2 weeks ago. They said the same thing Caleb Plant's team said. They said they was already signed and ready to go. So it's really Canelo that's pulling out of these fights, man. That's doing all this bullshit. You know, for years we thought it was Golden Boy and Oscar. You know, but after he left Golden Boy and Oscar, we still seeing the same trends, same thing, same shit. Seems even worse now. Eddie Hearn just lining his guys up for Canelo too. He just feeding them away, just feeding them. He's selling his guys out. Eddie Hearn don't give a damn. He's selling all his dudes out. He's selling them out to Canelo Alvarez. After saying Canelo Alvarez was a cheater and he'll always be remembered as a cheater. Ain't that some shit, right? But here is PBC offering this dude a 40 million guarantee, his career high guarantee, 40 million guarantee, plus pay-per-view and probably whatever else comes with it. And he pulled out of that simply because of some mythical replacement opponent. And he didn't like the replacement opponent. He didn't like the replacement opponent. That came out yesterday. That report came out yesterday that he didn't like the replacement opponent. Jesus Christ. If y'all heard that, that was some lightning. That shit sounded like it was right outside. Jesus. Man, long as guys like Canelo's around, we will always have these problems. We always had these problems in boxing, dude. It's just too political. And let's be honest though, despite everything I just said, if a guy like since Canelo Alvarez is the money man, if he was to somehow lose or get knocked off, if the guy that beat him don't got enough juice, you just fucked the money up. You essentially just fucked the money up. So that's why Triple G had enough juice to carry that on, but he just couldn't get the job done. I thought Canelo beat his ass both times, in my opinion. But um, that's what that is. Canelo Alvarez, he's like the money man. So beating him, you kind of fucking the money up for everybody else because nobody else got the juice like that. Salute the Boxing Syndicate in the building. I see you, man. Canelo fans always bring up Floyd. Yeah, man. They always try to bring up Floyd, man. That's a no. That's it's kind of aggravating. Thank you, Boxing Syndicate. Y'all go subscribe to Boxing Syndicate, man. He got really good breakdowns and just check him out. He says Floyd's career wasn't built around catchweights. Plus, he lets people train. Thank you, bro. Thank you. He gives these guys a chance because in Floyd's mind, I know I can beat you regardless, but I'm gonna give you a fair one. You probably gonna come into this fight about 10 to 15, 13, 15 pounds heavier than me. But I'm Floyd Mayweather. I'm betting and I'm gonna beat you anyway. But Canelo Alvarez, he would have drained that same guy. You can't come in 10 pounds over the weight on some IBF type shit. Like, man, stop playing with me with this dude, man. Terry Smoot, salute, bro. I see you in the building. He says Canelo would have beat Wilder. Oh my God. He probably would have, man. Ask a Canelo fan. He would beat anybody. Hey, I ain't gonna argue with you, young billionaire. I'm not. I'm anti Triple G at that time. I was just Canelo was my guy. I'm just upset with him. I was a big Canelo fan. I was riding with him hard during those times with Triple G and his fans and all that bullshit that was going on with Triple G. I was glad Canelo got him out of there. But Canelo be on some bullshit. And I can understand why Triple G fans was upset about the fight and how that played out and how they may have felt he won the fight. But Triple G was an asshole too. You know what I'm saying? He was an asshole too. He says Canelo beats Muhammad Ali, Jack Johnson. I mean, I'm telling you, Canelo's gonna go down. Despite all this, he's probably gonna still go down as an all-time great dude. Jeff Green says gonna move in time. He can fight there now. Bivol ain't that big, dude. Who is Canelo gonna fight next, young billionaire? They don't know yet. For the new guys that came in, let me read it to you real quick. They don't know who he gonna fight. He says the Mexican star wanted more time to train at his gym in San Diego and plot out a deal for his next fight. So it's told ESPN. September 18th became tighter and tighter, and we made the decision to focus on November, said Hearn, who promoted Alvarez's last 3 fights. Alvarez was closing in on a deal to meet Caleb Plant September 18th for the undisputed 160. Wait, okay, yeah. We already know that part. After the Plant fight collapsed, Alvarez moved on to talks with light heavyweight champion Dimitri Bivol. Alvarez and Bivol agreed to 172-pound catch weight. That's what it was supposed to be for a fight that would have been staged at September 18th for Bivol's title. And DAZN and Triller both made offers for that fight. For those who didn't know, Triller was trying to get in on that. Now it is unclear when and against whom Alvarez will fight. So they don't know who they go fight. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know who they go fight. So this is the 3rd year in a row he ain't fought on Mexican Independence Day. And then Team Bivol says, end quote, we made our deal on our side. We made that deal 2 weeks ago. And we had an understanding of what was going to happen. So they knew it was probably going to be a catch weight and all that. They knew, but they agreed upon it 2 weeks ago. We were waiting to see if Canelo's side was going to finalize. Maybe we'll find out what the reason was at some point. And at this point, we just want to know if they still want to do the fight. So they don't even know if the Canelo wants to even still do the fight. Hit that like button for your boys coming in the building. Random live. It says, if not, We have other options. Maybe Zerudo Ramirez or Arthur Beterbiev. Those are good fights. Maybe Marcus Brown. Whatever the best option is, that's what we'll do to keep Bivol as active as possible at this point. Because Bivol hasn't been too active. He fought like one time in like 2.5, 3 years or something. Two to 2.5 years. He hasn't really fought that much. He fought what, May 1st, and prior to that, he fought in Chicago, I believe, on a Usyk Witherspoon undercard, and I was there as media, and I seen the guy. He's not that big. You know what I'm saying? So, Canelo just playing games, dude. He's just playing games. Maybe they don't even know if he's gonna come back and revisit the fight at all. Caleb Plant don't know. These guys should just move on, man. Stop dealing with this guy. Stop dealing with this dude, man. It's too much. So imagine if these guys are going through. Imagine what Demetrius Andrade or Jamal Charlo or somebody like or Benavidez or even a Beterbiev, somebody that really, really got a chance to beat him. Well, imagine what they'll have to go through. It's a nonsense, dude. Good riddance. Good fucking riddance. Now Bivol be prepared now, and now he may not get the opportunity because he's going to be prepared for it because he knows that Canelo was interested, so he's going to be ready and prepared for that. Boxing Syndicate says Bivol should fight Beterbiev before Canelo, in my opinion. Yeah, that'll make the fight with Canelo. Then he'll have a Canelo if he beats Beterbiev. Canelo have to even offer up even more, and he'll probably wouldn't be able to have to succumb to his stipulations and clauses and shit. Catch weights, you know what I'm saying? Putting dudes on catch weights, man. How about if you can beat him, just go beat him? Didn't he have some belts at 175 already? Like, if you can beat him, then go beat him. But no, I gotta handicap these guys, and this is why I said Canelo still got his Pampers on. He still boxing with training wheels. Like he still got to have handicap fighters and shit. How could you consider that somebody like that the best fighter in the world? When you know this, that he puts clauses on fighters and shit. That's like you can't come to the ring and punch with your right hand for 4 rounds. Like what kind of shit is that, bro? I just want to see a fair one. It's not fair. These guys get in there, they sell themselves out to this dude. You get in the ring with him, you already down like 4 rounds. So you gotta get a knockout just to beat him. And if you get a knockout, you might get disqualified. It's crazy. Salute to my man G5 Jeff TV in the building. Y'all go subscribe to my man G5 Jeff TV. What's going on, man? Yeah, just chopping up, man. Canelo Bivol ain't happening in September. Bivol's team said they was ready. They signed it. They was ready to go 2 weeks ago. Canelo's side, they stalled on it, man. And now it's not happening. Talking about they need more time. Canelo wanted to train in his gym in San Diego. A lot of fans on social media just saying he wanted to get off the what's the name. You know how that is. Yep, this is a smart move, Full of Sports. I mean, but it's not Bivol though. Bivol was still ready, willing to take the fight. Let's not get that mistaken, man. Bivol was still ready to take this fight. Their team was ready to go. It's Canelo, man. But now he's prepared. Now he knows that Canelo may come calling. So now he gonna be ready for him. You know what I'm saying? Now he may have a chance to get a fair fight. He already succumbed to the 170-pound. He was gonna fight at 172 for the title. You know what I'm saying? He was already giving him that. Yeah, man, ain't it? Olympic style. Man, he's running a dice game with loaded dice. I'm telling you, man. Bro, he got such a strong hold on the sport. Just such a iron grip on the sport. It waters it down to a degree, man. I mean, and I'm a Canelo fan. Like I'm not like a guy that always hated Canelo. Canelo's my guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a dope fighter, but the stuff that comes with him is just too much. Then his fights they be look. How many times do you say, "Oh man, that look like a sparring session"? That fight like a sparring session. That fight like a sparring session. What? Come on, man. Dudes don't even like they want to be hitting them for real. Yep, he pulling out of these fights for just made up clauses like, yeah, if I don't like your replacement opponent. You know, he could have fought Caleb Plant, but now the narrative is that Caleb Plant ducked the fight. That's the narrative. Caleb Plant ducked the fight. You know, Caleb Plant, PBC, they don't want to fight other guys. That's the narrative. Will we have that same narrative with Bivol? Because Bivol didn't duck this fight, man. Let's not get that mistaken. You're gonna see a lot of people saying that Bivol needed time. No, Bivol said they was ready. They said they was ready 2 weeks ago. They side was already ready to go. They was waiting on Canelo this whole time. Yep, that's the pound for pound king of boxing, you guys. Right? See, when Terrence Bud Crawford was pound for pound king, it wasn't none of this stuff. He just having a hard time getting guys in the ring with him. This dude can get anybody to fight him, but yet he won't just give him a real fight. Like I said, Drizzy, I am not mad at people for believing that Canelo lost against Triple G. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But I had a certain deep hatred for Triple G and his fans at that time. It was very brutal back in those days. Very brutal. So I was gunning for Canelo to get the job done, but he could barely separate himself from that guy. He could barely separate himself from him. You know what I'm saying? He could barely separate himself from him. This is what I said about Canelo. He barely when he's in there with somebody that comes to really beat him, he can't separate himself from that guy. Adesanya Lara, he couldn't separate himself from that guy. You know what I'm saying? Guys that can really give him some go, he can't separate himself from them dudes. I think Pacquiao's getting 15 million or something like that, plus pay per view. I think that's what he's getting. 15 million. He said Canelo's a Hall of Fame fight. Yeah, he is. He gonna go down as a Hall of Famer, all types of shit, man. He's gonna go down as one of the greatest Mexican fighters of all time and everything. He is. He is. None of this stuff your boy Bushido is talking about is gonna matter. In the history books, this is gonna go down as one of the greatest fighters of all time. Especially if he's able to continue doing what he's doing, especially at 31 years old. I mean, if he was like 36, 37, doing what he's doing, I can understand it. This is like you working at any job. You putting in work, but he's 31 years old. This is in your prime. This is when you really supposed to be getting shit hot. You on a European tour, on a bum of the month club, out here just beating these guys. These guys. I'm telling you, man. But that's what it is, you guys. Canelo Alvarez and Dimitri Bivol isn't happening in September. Team Bivol was ready to go. Canelo needed more time. A lot of people is speculating, the testing and all this other stuff, and who knows. But yeah, man, it's not happening. What do we got to look forward to now? Pacquiao Spence, man. Oh, speaking of that, while you guys are here, the people that was trying to block the fight, the judge denied the shit. The judge, like, nah, man, you ain't blocking this fight. We knew that. We knew that was gonna happen, though. You can't block a fight that big, dude. Like, what was y'all thinking? But yeah, so we looking forward to Pacquiao Spence. That's the next big one. We shouldn't expect any foolery or nonsense from those guys. They, straightforward warriors. You know, um, Tyson Fury Wilder. That's not happening. I heard something real quick while we were here again on that. I heard something about Fury is trying to sue for defamation. I'm not sure how true that is. That's just what I heard. I'm gonna look into it. I don't know if it's true or not. That's just what I heard. I don't know if it's true, but yeah, Fury's trying to sue. So if that's true, you already know what time it is. He's trying to find a way to get out of that fight. Like, subscribe, hot your boy. Peace out.